Daniel Ives, can you write today for Wedbush with a 2- and 5-year model, or is the uncertainty so great you've got to pull in your timeline?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, I continue to sort of view it as near-term uncertainty, but let's say in the case of Apple, 40% of the install base hasn't upgraded their phone in 3.5 years. So I think the pent-up demand, when I look out, I even think over the next 12, 18, 24 months, there's a little more visibility when you look at Apple from an install base perspective. But no doubt, I mean, that you guys see forest through the trees here on tech. We continue to be bullish.
You know, I look, Dan, at the people looking at 90 days out or even a year out, and if you take any of these juggernauts and model them 2 years or particularly 5 years, it's shocking the growth. Is that growthiness still there, represented by revenue growth, but can it come down the income statement and persist out 5 years?
Yeah, I think it's a golden age for technology, which speaks to our bullishness over the last few years. I think we're only in the middle innings. You look at some of these names, the profitability profile is dramatically higher. Look at Apple in terms of services. I mean, that gross margin's about double the hardware business. And I think what you're seeing is it's very easy, especially in a jittery tape, to get myopic and nervous on some of these prints and guides. But for Apple, the super cycle hasn't even started. And in terms of our Asia checks, we think pre-order activity is more than 2x iPhone 11. So I think that's why when I look at Apple on sort of knee-jerk reaction, you look out over the next year or two, and I think this is ultimately a $150 stock 6 to 9 months from now.
So, Dan, why do you think the stock's down about 14% from the September high?
I think part of it is just general nervousness going into the super cycle. China obviously is the key. That's the hearts and lungs of the overall cycle. And if you look, you know, and you saw this quarter, I think there's just general nervousness that you're not going to see that demand. Valuations had a huge re-rating, and you start to see perfection built in. And I think you're seeing a risk off overall in tech just going into the next week. But I believe it's short-lived. That's why I still think it's green light to own tech. And I think I look out over the next year, and I think tech stocks are up another 20% plus.